Okay. Good girl. Good. Okay. So here we are out in the big arena. This is her first time out here. I'm just going to let her look around for a minute. I did decide to bore you with tacking her up out here because I wanted to show you the difference in when you do things that are with consistency, how you can get them comfortable with things done in consistency versus now I'm doing something in a different environment. She's going to look at a bunch of things. I didn't put all my obstacles away. I actually left them all out just so we can explore them, hopefully under saddle. But I'm going to go ahead and tack her up and see if being out here someplace new overstimulates her sensitivities and make something that's become easy for her more challenging. Again, I apologize for any breathing you don't want to listen to. Unfortunately, I breathe very well right now because I'm still dealing with a cold or allergies or whatever. Seem to have gone through people here, so I'm going to say it's still a cold. But anyway, it makes it very difficult for me to breathe out of my nose. So if I seem to breathe heavy, get used to it. Nothing I can do about it. Good girl. Good girl. So now, I'm not assuming that her just standing here and not reacting to anything is a good thing. I'm assuming that her focus is on something else, and in a minute she's going to explode like, oh my god, what are you doing to me? Because her focus has been so not on me. She has been in this arena before when she came here for a play day. I think she's even been here twice. Maybe she's only been here once, but yeah, she's only been here once. So I'm just going to snug this up. Get her feet moving a little bit. Let her look around too. So I might even just walk with her for her look around. Perimeters of what we're going to be doing and the area that we're going to be using. I may or may not use the whole arena, but I have up to where I plan to use at least half. I know you can hear me breathing. I don't know if you can hear her breathing. See if I get her up here with me and you can kind of take in the sights through the way she's breathing. I'm going to walk her through all the obstacles now on the ground. See how she handles that. Going to send her out and around that cone. Give her a little responsibility to do something without me. Going to send her through these poles. Give her a little responsibility to do something without me. Send her out and around. Have her come up through the poles again. Send her out and around this cone. Maybe bring her in one pole and then ask her to come with me over the poles. Good girl. So I'm pretty pleased with the except for obstacles here. Not sure if she's just kind of in denial or if she's really come into a good frame for me as far as her mental frame. But I'm pretty pleased with the way she's handling this right now. Gonna tighten this up a little bit more because I want to make her feet move. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask her to show me that she remembers the head down cue. See if she's willing to do that in here. I let the rope drag across that barrel that startled her, but caused us a problem. I might do that again on purpose. Okay. Now, that's also an example of how sensitive she is to the feet halter there, because it hooked the barrel a little bit that time, and she responded to stop, thinking that she was asked to stop. So she's got a little more fire in her feet than I want. I'm going to just kind of wait her out. She's not likely to put her head down. Oh, good girl. Not likely to put her head down when she's going that fast. Once she settles in a little bit, she's likely to find her head down. Good girl. I'm going to just wait till she puts it all the way down once and reward her, so that way she knows that that is what I'm looking for. Good. Now, of course, I'm rewarding the head toss, so we brought the head toss out here too. Go ahead and ask her to go back out. Ask her to trot. So unfortunately, the head toss is in every venue. Good girl. Good girl. That's all good signs. Put your head down. Good girl. Put your head down. Good girl. Good girl. Put your head down. Good girl. So see if she does that again. I'm going to release her, especially if it doesn't have head toss. Good girl. Okay. Good girl. So this time I'm going to ask her to go the other way. She actually seemed better the other way, even though that was the new way to learn. So I'm going to ask her to go the other way now. See if she'll put her head down for us here. It's okay. Yep, you're all right. That's good. She kind of digested that. I allowed that rope to hang on that barrel. Her life is going to be running around barrels. Good girl. So if that's going to be her life, she might as well get used to the sound of things hitting it and bumping into it. Good girl. So I'm going to release that because she looked for it. It's a little late releasing it, but I didn't want to swing her around. You know, she's going a little faster than I'd like, so I didn't want to swing her, cause her to like do a big fishtail by pulling her around as an instant reward, because it wouldn't be much of a reward if I'm straining her. Good girl. If I'm straining her stifles by swinging her around while she's going super fast, she shouldn't be going this fast. I mean, she's not doing too bad. I'd prefer she slowed down, though. There, that's nice. I like that. Now she puts her head down. I'm going to release all of that. Good girl. And then I'm going to just quit on that. I'm happy with that. Okay, a little jumpy, but not too bad. Good girl. Get all her tickly hairs out from under here. Good girl. That's as far as I'm willing to do it. I believe in a tight girth as far as so your saddle doesn't end up under your horse's belly, but I believe if you're a centered rider, your girth doesn't need to cut your horse in half. Good girl. That's a good girl. Alright, so quick reintroduction to the mounting block while we're out here. Again, sorry for the sniffles or any annoying breathing patterns. Here. So let's see. Okay, she's got kind of the. Go ahead. She just needs to figure out that she comes to me on this side. Good. So I want them to line up to my belly button. So if they line up to my hip, I'm not going to make them wrong for trying to line up to me. on the mounting block, but I'm not going to quit asking until they line up in the right position. This way they'll learn that it's my my belly button that they're supposed to line up to. Good girl. Again, reminder she's got a job here. There. I love the hesitant step, that final step, like, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. I think this is what I'm supposed to do. So, I don't know if you can hear her jump. Obviously, you can see her jump. So, remember, we have a problem on this side of her. So, I'm going to make her wrong for leaving. I'm not making her wrong for being scared. I'm just going to make her wrong for leaving. Good. So, again, got to work on this side of her. Very jumpy on this side of her. So, if this was a horse that I was just working with at somebody's house and they were supposed to do stuff for me in between lessons, I would say do everything on this horse's left side. I'm not going to make her wrong for that. I'm just going to tell her she needs to do her job, which is stand here next to this mounting block. Good. Okay. Good girl. Well, she stayed doing her job. She's still spooking, but she stayed doing her job. Now, yesterday, she kind of tweaked me pretty good when she bounced back on me. So, that time she knocked me off. Mainly because this time I'm not willing to let her twist my back on me. Good. Good girl. So, again, if she were at home and somebody's responsibility was to work with her while I'm not there, one of the things I would have them do is work on that offside. That's really difficult for her. Over. Over. Good girl. So even that, like, I want to make that a reward. I wanted to tell her she did a good job, and instead she took that as something very scary. And you notice how she keeps this right eye on me. This left eye on me, because she's absolutely, like, she puts her own set of blinders on. She's absolutely terrified of things being on this side of her. So she doesn't even opt to look in this direction. So I kind of have to make myself a little more visible out here for her to help her. That'll make some noise. I'm going to get down and say, good job. You stayed there. You did your job. And that was just to stay there and let me show you I'm not trying to hurt you. So I'm going to get her out here a little bit so she has to work a little harder to make this job work. Her job is to come stand right in front of me, present me that saddle. I'm going to ask her to step forward. Good. Is she square? No. I'm going to ask her to take that other step. Good. Nope. Now she's got to back up. Okay, so she's choosing to get a little too close, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't block her from getting too close. Good. There. Good. There. Good girl. Because she's bumping into me when she spooks, and not that I care if she knocks me off, I just care if she hurts my back like she did yesterday. Yes, I do care about that. Good job. So this time I'm going to change to the reins. Oh, she's a good girl. Yes, I can't breathe. I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's pretty nice. She knows I let her loose and she stayed this time. That's an improvement in where we're at in our relationship, because in the past, if she heard that I had let her loose, she would have politely, but would have definitely taken the option to leave. So, gonna give her a reminder what her job is, which is not necessarily stand on top of me. I'm gonna poke her a little bit to get her to step away. Good. Good. Let her know that that's all I wanted. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. You're not wrong. Do your job. There you go. There you go. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, remember, we have rain issues. So she's fearful of the rains. This is the first real sunny day we've worked out here, or the only day we've ever worked out here, but first real sunny day, so she's looking down at that shadow. Now, that was nice. She offered to look over on this side. That was nice. Good girl. Yep. That's okay too. So one of the things that I teach horses is how to relieve their own stress, how to come off their own adrenaline, as far as how to ask, can I do that? Not necessarily I didn't teach how to come off of her own adrenaline, but I gave her permission to drop her head when she needs to, and we'll even ask her to if I feel like she's asked and I didn't. Too close. Who? Okay, it's okay. It's okay. So I'm making her a little wrong for how close she gets. Good. Like that. So I'm going to step her back off. There. Okay. So what that's doing is that's kind of undoing a little of her understanding. Good. Oh, good. Little of her understanding of how close she's supposed to be. Step up. Step up with her foot. Good. Now she's asking, can she put her head down? I'm going to let her. No. So like I said, by bumping her, I'm confusing her that she's not doing the right thing. Good. It's okay. Just want to settle her down for a second. Step over. Good. Now stop. Good. Now, I'm going to let her put her head down because she asked before we had to move, so I'm going to let her do it. Might even ask her to do it. Go ahead. Put your head down. Put your head down. Put your head down. Put your head down. There you go. I know. You need to. I know. There you go. There. Just relax. You're fine. So, out here, she never had me step up in the stirrup before. Just see if she's okay with that. Go ahead and swing on. I'm going to let her move her feet for half a second, but I'm going to just circle around. Well, one thing is she'll always be able to handle somebody that has a cold. Now I'm going to let her stretch out a little bit more. So I'm not going to do too much, trying to scare her while I'm up here right now while she's taking in the bigger environment. Make sure I can help her through any quick fear issues she has. She knows where the barn is. She's pointed out that she knows where the barn is. She's got things over here that she's looking at with her ear. I watch their ears very closely to see what they're looking at, so maybe I can see it before it becomes a problem. A lot of times people say, oh, she spooked out of nowhere. No, she didn't. She told you about 10 minutes ago what was scaring her over there, but you kept ignoring it, and now, she had to take matters into her own hands and say, you must not see that. So if I thought she really had a problem with something to her left or to her right, I would take her over there and allow her to go look at whatever it is. Bird's nest between those two big cones over there that I'm protecting until the babies hatch and leave. So she's got one ear on that. She's got one ear on a cone that's just laying on the ground here. But I don't feel that that's going to become our biggest obstacle today. So I'm going to cut across here, go between all these obstacles, and I'm going to get in this other eye. This right eye is hard for her to see me. It's kind of windy, but good girl. So by asking her to round around that barrel, I asked her to look at me. Maybe even circle this barrel and ask her to look at me. I really want her to start getting in the habit of looking at me out of this eye instead of pretending like she doesn't see me. Good girl. Wiggle around in the saddle, make sure anything, plug in my stirrups a little bit, because we all adjust our stirrup side. Sometimes we even lean down and tighten our girth when we ride. Those are all things she's going to have to understand without panicking. Trying to make sure I stay in. I'm going to set up these cones and barrels to stay in the camera. And I think this much of the arena is enough for her to play in today. You know, we'll extend it tomorrow or maybe today, but we're going to just play with this much for right now. There, that's beautiful. Now, see how much she responds to just my body? Okay, so she's not actually. So I'm going to go ahead and say, no, we're going to go over there, and I'm going to turn my body, and hopefully she responds to that. Now, that's good. She heard the air dryer on a truck that just went by. One piece of grass. We're going to stop and check out the one piece of grass. So, because she's most comfortable in this eye, I'm going to go ahead and ask her to trot. Now, she's got a lot more space to get worried about. Going a little faster than I want, but I'm going to let her just kind of deal with it. Saddle's making a lot more noise because she's going a lot faster than she should. I don't want her to break in the canter, even though she's going to get ready to offer it to me. I don't want her to, so I'm trying to gently control her speed without making her wrong for going, because of course I asked her to go. I confused her with that cone there. So she's thinking about asking to canter here, and I'm not going to let her. Good girl. Okay, so I started a pattern there. I'm going to have to fix that. Alright, so we're going a lot faster. It's a lot harder at that speed, so I'm going to see if I can't easy her down. Easy. There we go. So I've confused her completely with that cone. She thinks she's supposed to go on the inside of it. So easy. I'm just going to help her with this easy. There. So I get off of her face when she gives me this nice quiet trot. I want them to understand the canter cue. So I'm going to ride her a little more straight here and then go around this cone. So that way she understands that we're supposed to go on the outside of that cone. Easy. So I got to help her down these hills. My arena's on a slight incline, which is nice for drainage, but it also causes an uneducated horse to speed up. Good girl, there, that's beautiful. There, even looking to put her head down. Easy, easy, just trying to help her. Easy, good, there. Okay, a little head toss, we don't like that. We're not interested in that. So because she did that, we're going to go ahead and get in the other eye. I'd love it if she slowed down. I'd love to get off her face. There. Even like if she slowed down a little bit more. Good. She corners. See how well she corners here. I'm going to corner around this barrel. Change directions around this other barrel. Good girl. There, now I got a nice trot. Why can't we do that from the beginning, huh? There you go. That's nice. That's nice. So one way you can fix that extra speed down the hill there is you can do your downward transitions. So they're starting to anticipate a downward transition there. So I might ask her to walk there, or even hoe, depending on how well she's responding. Walk, walk, walk. Good. Good girl. So I might do some upward and downward where I'll do the downward, so she can kind of look forward to doing a downward transition. Therefore, her body's going to kind of ask to slow down right there instead of speeding up. So we can go over these obstacles here. Well, we can go over one. Okay, ask her to go forward. She can avoid the other ones. I'm fine with that. Don't want them getting caught up in her hind legs and having us have a train wreck. And go ahead and steer around this barrel or cone. Maybe go around the barrel, like practice some steering, go around this barrel, up through the poles, back around that cone, down around the other cone, and maybe down through some poles. Practice steering in my body first, and then see if she responds to that. Good. Go over here, go around this cone over here, then go back down through the poles. Reminder, she needs to keep. Maybe go around the mounting block and then out around that barrel. And then her right side's easier for her. So I might ask for the canter. Now, I want the canter to be something she understands, not something she runs into. So I'm going to make sure that when I ask her to do it, it's going to be because I asked her to do it, not because we ran so fast she had no choice but to break into the canter. I don't want that to be how she learns to canter, and I don't want that to be like her style. So I'm going to ask her to trot. Good. Because that becomes, just like you saw the pattern around this one cone, it becomes a pattern very quickly. But because we have a little extra speed on the downhill, I'm going to say, okay, how about now? And then I'm going to ask her to hoe. Good job. Let her know she did a good job. Ask her to walk off. Good job. So I may trot a lap now, because I don't want her to anticipate, oh, we're going to canter this way now. So I may only trot a lap. Because she's got, oh, we're supposed to go now. Oh, we're going now. So I don't want her to think that. I want to interrupt her decision making and having an assumption of what to do. And again, I want to work on how clear that transition cue is. So she feels me gathering my reins and is deciding that it must mean something, so I'm not going to let it mean anything. I'm trying to tell her to easy a little bit. So maybe when we get down around this barrel, help her out with her right lead. Good girl. Woo! Okay. Easy. Lost our steering. Okay, so you can get our steering back. She's a little unbalanced in this direction. Let's see if we get our steering back. Okay, lost our lead too. So before she gets herself all spazzed out, now I'm going to let her walk. So we lost our steering. We got a little fire and excitement. So we lost our steering, which then I had to make decisions not to run into things and allow her to kind of falsely or incorrectly go around something. Getting a little worried now. She's trying that up. I'm going to just try to stay in right eye here. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. maybe go around this barrel. Remind her I'm up here in this right eye. Good girl. Good girl. Maybe take her over to this mounting block. Help her a little bit with my reins. And remind her with my body how... I mean, obviously, I could show you obvious signs that she's working on just my body, but she still needs a little support. Good girl. Yeah, that's a good girl. I'm happy with us off to the left, but I'm going to have her do a little more on the right because we lost our steering and we got kind of spun out of mental control. I never felt like I was out of control physically, but I felt like she was definitely mental. So I might ask her to trot. See if she's already anticipating. But I'm going to allow her to do it. Good girl. Okay, lost a little steering again. And go back and do those cones real quick. Woo! Beautiful. And there's that cone. Remember I told you we were looking at something before? And it may or may not be a reason to have her explode. Well, we just saw that cone a little more close up than she'd been seeing it. And more of the reason to have a little episode there. So I was pretty happy until we lost our steering again. I might take her out and around this cone and say, look, we're supposed to go out and around, not to the inside, out and around. Out and around, feel it. There you go. Same with this one, out and around. Love it if she give a nice blowout now, because that'd be nice to hear her come down off of that little bit got herself up on. Good girl. Gonna go ahead again, ask her to trot. Ask her to canter. Easy. Easy. Ask her to get the correct lead. Good girl. So I'm gonna go a little more straight this time and then turn. Good. Good girl. And then I'm gonna bring her down to a walk. Walk. Good girl. Good girl. So now what I might do is we got her a little hyped up here. I might go ahead and hoe her. And then I might even just hop off. Let her know that's all we were doing here, baby. We weren't doing anything major. Step up. You're okay. Good girl. Let her catch her breath with me beside her. See if she'll offer to put her head down with me beside her, allowing herself to kind of calm down. So now, perfect example Had I allowed her to explore that cone, that I knew right away, when we first came out here, I knew right away that cone was potentially worrying her. And yet, I swore it wasn't a big deal because I didn't think we'd go anywhere near it. Example of if you end up in a situation where you go near something you've been avoiding or didn't really think would pose an issue for you, and your horse told you, I'm pretty scared of that, and you ignore it, well, you could end up in a situation like that where she stumbled up on top of that and said, oh my God, what is that? And we did that little leap. That little leap could have damaged a little bit of my leadership, because it was my lack of leadership that was keeping her on track. So she was unable to stay focused with me, and then I kind of like threw her to the wolves if she believed that, by saying, now we're out here where we haven't been, something that I didn't give you a chance to look at before. So I'm going to go ahead and get back on and just walk her out. Like I said in previous, I don't usually make them carry me in their cool down period. Step up, good. But as you can see, she still needs some work on some of this stuff. Over. Come on, over. So this is her job. She knows her job, so I'm not gonna... Yep. So I'm not gonna be as tolerant anymore on, why aren't you doing your job? Good girl. Okay, so my leniency of, you don't need to leg hit the side. Apparently, right now, that's a very scary thing. So, I want to make some noise up here now. Say, hey, easy there, Slick. It's no big deal. Keeping her in an arc in case I have to suddenly stop her. What I do like is that she's starting to not need to run 15, 20 feet after she gets spooked by something. So that's certainly a huge benefit to her progress here, because, if something spooks her, I'd rather her go, oh my God, and stop in place than run and think about looking back later. So her putting her ears back just then, she didn't pin them back. I just don't know if you noticed she put her ears back. That was because my hands were combing the rope up here, the reins, and she wasn't sure if she was supposed to listen to something, so she was just tuning in. So I'll get her to look forward again. Now see, watch, she'll tune into my hands. That's all she was doing. So I might say, well, walking her out with me in the eye that she's good on might not be the best way to walk her out with me in the eye that she's having a hard time with. So that sounds like the better idea, right? So I got to get her to arc a little bit away. Not sure why we're having a panic attack now. Maybe because I just put myself in this eye. Maybe that's why it's a good idea to spend more time in this eye. So her breathing's changed a great deal. So as soon as I ask her to see me, you can watch how upset she gets. So she doesn't need to look at me right now, but now I'm going to ask her to look at me. That's not bad. So probably tomorrow or later this afternoon, I'm going to do some stuff with some scary things. Good girl. That's from you jumping. Maybe make her do a circle here so she really has to see me up here in this eye. So I think the tarp is going to be a really good exercise for this horse. And a lot of movement. Going to probably get out a rain jacket and flip it up in the air, put it on, take it off, maybe not on her back. I might not have that much of a death wish yet. But, get her used to stuff kind of flipping around her and hitting her and touching her with it. And, you're going to bump into things, especially if you take her out on a trail. She's going to be asked to go through brush that's going to her body that she's not sure she wants to do, or not sure what that's going to feel or sound like. So all those things, you want to prepare them the best you can in these early stages for anything that they might ever get exposed to. I changed my mind. I was going to go around the mounting block the other way. So I might go around the mounting block this time, and then I might go ahead and hoe her. So I'm going to tell her hoe, and then dismount, thank her for the ride. She's got a lot of work still to do as far as being jumpy, so I gotta help her with that. All this stuff I do with her, we should be able to get through, the super scary stuff, I hope. This way she can go home and hopefully, maybe get her intended rider sitting on her. I don't know if that's going to happen right away. But, her career path is supposed to be a barrel horse, I believe. Which she corners real nice, so, she might be really cut out for it. She's very agile. She's very athletic. She's got speed, but I don't want her speed to be encouraged through fear. So I'm not going to let her loose in this arena. I know what my feedback is. And I don't feel like playing catch me out here. So she wants to end on something she knows. It's almost like that's her way of asking, did I do a good job? Can you put the gold star on my forehead? She wants the gold star on her butt. She wants the good grade hanging on the refrigerator. So this is kind of her evidence, her report card, if she was looking for one. That if I step away, she'll probably do that again. Or eat dirt. Can't taste good. So I'll give her a second. See, it worries her that I'm still just standing here and she doesn't know if she's supposed to be doing something. So even though I didn't give her a cue, I am saying that's a good thing you just did that. That's nice, thank you. She looks happy. She's ending on a good note. She's relaxed. As you can see, her neck is not as low as I would like it, of course, but it's certainly not all bowed out on the bottom. It's almost like a mission of mine to change the shape of this horse's neck. Horses that live on their fear adrenaline are horses that develop that kind of neck, and they usually end up with like almost a U shape right in front of the wither also. It also causes them to hollow out their back, which could potentially give them, back problems. So it's all for her good health that she learns to carry her head a little bit lower. So what do you think? Huh? Is that so bad out here? We'll use the full arena later or tomorrow. I don't think she would have had an issue. I just didn't have the camera set